Hello everyone, welcome back once again. In this video we will look at ASP.NET Core MVC web application inside the Visual Studio 2019. But before we get started, please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The ASP.NET Core MVC framework is a lightweight, open source, highly testable presentation framework optimized for use with ASP.NET Core. ASP.NET Core MVC provides a pattern-based way to build dynamic websites that enables a clean separation of concerns. It gives you full control over markup, supports TDD-friendly development, and uses the latest web standards. ASP.NET Core includes these features: routing, model binding, model validation, dependency injection, filters, areas, web APIs, testability, and so on and so forth. So let's get to it then. But before we can go ahead, please make sure you have Visual Studio 2019 at least installed, at least the community version of it as well. So once you've got that bit sorted, then you can open it, but also you have to make sure that I'm going to open this bit here, the Visual Studio installer, and make sure you've got this bit box checked, the ASP.NET and web development. You have to make sure you download this bit and install it before you can get to the next bit, of course. So if you've gotten that sorted out, then you open the new project dialog and click on the create new project, or this is the startup window as well. So once you've got these bits opened, they create a new project dialog. Then we look for the ASP.NET Core web application. So you click on it, then you click on the next, of course, and then here we've got a configure your new project dialog. Here you can configure the project name, the location, and the solution name as well. So once you've got whatever name that you want to put, I'm just going to leave it at the default name. So you can click on the create. So here we actually prompted with the create a new ASP.NET Core web application dialog. Here you'll be able to select the version of the ASP.NET Core. Here I've only got 2.1 for some reason installed, and I've got a .NET framework. So here I can select the .NET Core, and then I can select the ASP.NET Core 3.1. And here you'll be able to select a project template for web API, the web application using just the raise up pages, and then the web application using the model view controller, which is the MVC. This is the one that we're actually looking for. So we click on this bit here, and then on the right hand side we'll be able to configure the authentication for the project by clicking this bit here. So we can either use the no authentication, individual user account, work or school account, and Windows authentication. So let's select this bit for the and we will store this bit on user account in the application. Here we can store it on extended cloud, but we leave it here. Click OK. So as you can see, we have got an individual user account. We can select the configuration for HTTPS. Here for some reason it's already checked, so we leave it as it is here. So now we can click on the create so that we can get the project created. So now as you can see, I've got the project created. So this is MVC web application project created. So the model view controller architectural pattern separates an application into three main groups of components: the models, the views, and controllers. So if you look here, we've got models, which will contain all the model classes, And then we've got the views, which will contain the main view or the UI of the application. Then we've got controllers, which will also contain the files that will handle the response and request, the HTTP response and request. So this pattern helps to achieve separation of concerns. Using this pattern, the user requests are routed to a controller, which is responsible for working with the model to perform user actions or retrieve results of queries. The controller chooses the view to display to the user and provides it with any model data it requires. So if we look here, we've also got an area which contains the identity and some pages. And as you can see, we've only got a view start. So this is just for the user account. So if you look here, we've got a folder for controller, and we've got a folder for model, and we've got a folder for views. So the model folder will contain all the models if we have any. Then the controller, as we said, will handle all the request and response. So as you can see here, we've got one controller action, which is called an index, which returns an I action results. It returns the view. If we look at it here with this view, we come inside the view home. So it's a home controller. So we look for the home folder, and we've got index. So it's actually going to return this index.cshtml. So now we're just going to run it to see what actually comes out of it. So as you can see, we've got an application running now. It's a very simple with nothing actually showing. So we can click on this register link here. So here we can enter the details to register, and then a database will be actually created with the details that we actually enter. So as you can see, it's a very simple stuff. So from here, you can actually build on your knowledge. So you need to make sure that obviously you have you create a new controller, you create some models, like let's say product or persons, like whatever model that you want to create, and then you use that model for the controller and you display it with using the views, right? So I'm just going to leave it here, and I hope this actually helped you to move on with the ASP.NET Core web development. So once again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do, and have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Peace.